Hi, this is Aaron with Zollotech, and today we're going to take a look at the iPad. I'll give you my own review on this. Today, I've been using this the entire day. Used this yesterday as well, obviously, as it came out yesterday or 2 days ago now as I record this. The iPad is definitely something that you have to get your hands on to appreciate. A lot of people that have seen it have said it's just a big iPod, and well, I don't understand why that's a bad thing. The iPod Touch is great, but the problem is the screen size, and sometimes the speed can be an issue. Now, I apologize for the reflection. The reflectiveness of the screen is a bit of a problem in bright light. As you're going to see yourself, you can see the camera and myself talking in the background. That's a problem in bright light. However, a lot of the time when you're indoor light, it's not going to be a problem at all, and I didn't even notice it until I was in really bright light. And that's something that people have complained about with the MacBook as well. The best thing about this is probably the ease of use. There are a lot of nice little quirks that I've found is using it. So let me show you. We'll go into Safari. We're at YouTube. Let's take a look at Zollotech here. It loads very quickly. I'm on wireless N. It's pretty quick, responsive. I mean, you move your fingers, the pinch and zoom is super fast, super responsive. And in this type of light, you can't even see smudges. You will see them in very bright light, but the screen is very good. No problems with the touch screen. You do have this bezel here, and you need that to hang on to. And so let me show you one of the features that this has that the iPod or the iPhone does not have. See, we've got the YouTube video. That's actually the unboxing of the iPad. So we'll go ahead and hit play, and it plays right in the browser. If I want to bring that out, I pinch it out. If I want to bring it back, I do that. I can also rotate it. When I'm done watching it, I simply pinch and it goes back. And this is playing right in the browser, and it's YouTube. Now, I'm assuming it's using H.264. I'm sure how they've integrated that together. But other than that, I mean, probably, I have to agree with Apple that it is the best browsing experience you can have, because you do have the web right in front of you, and you tend to hold this closer than a laptop. That's my experience with it. Just simple things, double tap to zoom. Double tap to zoom out, just like the iPod. If you've used an iPod Touch or the iPhone, you're going to be extremely familiar. There are nice touches here and there, and that's what I think a lot of people will appreciate the most. The screen rotation is super fast. You can see it's quick and fluid, and it really has no downfalls except for the lack of multitasking and possibly a camera, which, they do have to leave something for future revisions of the iPad. Weight is a little on the heavy side. You're going to want to set this on something, rest it, and you don't want to hold it in the air with one hand for any period of time, as it's going to present a problem, and your arm's going to get really tired. But the great thing about this is you've got the full App Store, you've got a full screen 1024 by 768 experience. You can't see the pixels. It looks very high res. The video is really nice. You've already got all those different apps you can use, and we'll take a look at some of those later, not in this review, but you do have the whole App Store and certain apps that are made right just for it. Twitterific, the weather, Pages, which we'll get into that later. You can import documents, export them. It works really well, and it's really nice. YouTube is great on this, custom made for the iPad. And here I search for iPad cases. You have all these different windows. You can just tap and play, and it's great. It just auto plays when you tap, and it works really well. If you want to bring this full screen, again, you use the pinch out, pinch back in. You can turn sideways. However your preference, and that's really the nice thing about the iPad. Other than that, we're waiting for a bunch of apps. Supposedly there's 3,000 at this time on the App Store. Netflix and ABC being some of the best, I think. Great things, and hope to see more like that. The Bookstore is another huge seller for this, the iBookstore. So let's go into that. And let me bring you back to the main screen here. Library. There are a bunch of free books. It comes with Winnie the Pooh when you first install it. You actually bring the iPad home and install the iBookstore. You touch this, it opens, and there you have it. It's got some really nice touch features. You can see I'm moving the page like this a little bit, and it's just like it's a real piece of paper. You can grab it from up here, and if you can see right above here, it's semi-transparent. You do get some of the, let's try that again, so you get some of the graphic through the paper, just like it's a real sheet of paper. You can go into the fonts. You can change your fonts. There's different selections. You've got these 5 different fonts here. You can make the font larger or smaller to suit your preference in reading and how well you can see. You also have a brightness adjuster right here. We can go really bright or really dim. It's got some really nice features, and you have a scrubber down here that you can just zip through the pages with. And then if you just want to go to the whole index and search by that, you can hit this button up here, and what you get is all the different chapters. Chapter 7, it just turns and goes there. So it's really intuitive. If we go back to the library, we have a store button in the upper left. And we'll go into the store, and it's just like the iPad or the iPhone and the App Store, and it's just got your books listed. There's a bunch of free books. You can go in and type and bring up whatever you want. And the books are generally around $10 for them. You can see bestsellers, $10 or less. There's some more that are $12.99, like Think Twice that's here on the front page. They don't get too much more expensive than that. I can imagine that when textbooks are on here, obviously they're going to cost a little bit more. But you can sort by categories and that sort of thing. Overall, it is a big iPod Touch. That's really what it is. But that, again, is not a bad thing. It makes things very intuitive, and it just improves on the iPhone and iPod Touch. You've got videos just like an iPod. You've got a bunch of different videos. G.I. Joe, iRobot, tap, opens. You've got information. Depending on where you get it, you can rip the movies and import them in iTunes, or you can buy them right off here and download them. You've got all your music in the iPod. It's just like iTunes, very quick. Tap, pick your song, and it plays. That's all there is to it. You can sort with artists and songs and albums, and just like what you're normally used to. The Mail app is fantastic. Here's someone asking me a question on YouTube. We'll go back to my inbox, and you've got all these different things here. If I don't like this view, I just turn it, and there we've got a view on the side. We tap the message we want, and it opens up on the side. Really intuitive. Supports multiple mailboxes. There's different email addresses. If you can get a hold of them, you can set up, get a hold of me. If I want to delete it, you can do it just like an iPhone. Hit edit, tap this, hit delete, or you can swipe to the side and delete. Really intuitive, really nice. Now, a lot of people were concerned about the keyboard and how well you can type on it. The keyboard is fantastic. It really is good. I wouldn't say it's a dream to type on like Steve Jobs did in his address. But if we turn this sideways, I find this keyboard is much better, the larger landscape keyboard. So I can type pretty fast on it. I don't really have an example, I guess, but there's like, you just type, I don't know, almost 90 words a minute. I would dare say I can type about 90 to 100 words a minute regularly, and on here I can find myself typing about the same. Obviously, I may make some more mistakes. The keyboard's a little bit smaller. I have larger hands, but it doesn't pose a problem, and it's really good and really intuitive, and I'm very impressed with that. And I've handed this off to a couple other people. They've tried it out, and we're surprised at how good it is. To give you an idea of an app specifically made for this, that's free, here's Weatherbug. When you first open it, it asks you if it wants to know, your location. It grabs that information, says you're in this area, I think. Do you want to switch to that? Because I think it starts in California. Gives me the temperature, the wind speed. There's some local cameras from feeds, just some different things. It's just really nice, and it's made specifically for this screen, and you have a lot more screen real estate with the map and everything else. Overall, the iPad, I think, is a great success. Very intuitive, awesome battery life. I've gotten at least 10 hours out of it before having to recharge it. I think it's a huge win for Apple in the future of computing, I would dare say, unless you need to create media, then you're going to need something a little more powerful. This is Aaron with Zollotech. We'll see you next time.